Hello, welcome to this video on Johansson Pali Buddhist texts, reading number 20. I'll call up the text for you. Here we are. Yatha anyataram bijam khette vuttam viruhati pattavirasanchagamma sinehanchatadubhayam evam kandha chadhatuyo chacha ayatana ime hetum paticca sambhuta hetu bhanga nirujhare. And again, yatha anyataram bijam khette vuttam viruhati pattavira sanchagamma sinehanchatadubhayam evam kandha chadhatuyo chacha ayatana ime hetum paticca sambhuta hetu bhanga nirujhare. Now, this is a text which, as usual, I've copied and pasted from the digital Pali reader. So don't pay too much attention to the punctuation. So yatha, just as. Anya means another. And if you make it anyatara, put this tara ending on it, which is usually the comparative ending, rather like our English er, bigger, smaller, tara. But it's not a comparative here. It's anyatara. Doesn't mean other, it means one or another, some seed, one or another, something like that. Sometimes it's just like the indefinite article. So just as a seed, just as some seed, anyataram, any old seed, yatha anyataram bijam, bija is a seed, kete vuttam, sown in a field, viruhati, grows, literally grows out, grows up, viruhati. Pattavira sanchagamma sinehanchatadubhayam. Agamma, you know the verb gum to go, agam to come, agamya, literally having come, or with an accusative having come to something. But here, this word is not used as an absolutive verb. It's known as a prepositional absolutive. So a verb that looks like having come, as in one verb in a sequence of verbs, but it's used as in a prepositional sense. So it just means depending on, in reliance on, thanks to, because of. So patavira san cha agamma, so cha agamma is it. So in reliance on, because of, the patavira san, literally the earth juice, the nutrients in the earth, sinehancha, and moisture, sneha. Sneha means, did I do a note on it? No, sneha means, the original meaning is attached, sticking to something, and that means a sticky moisture, then kind of any moisture. The word also means affection, actually, because of the clinging, like you're stuck to somebody, this sneha between people. So, in reliance, so just as any old seed, a seed, kete vuttam viruhati, grows, viruhati, sown in a field, kete, and cha, agamma, in reliance on, because of, thanks to the patavira san, the earth nutrients, the soil nutrients, sinehancha, and the moisture, tad ubhayam, literally that both. Ubhayam, no, it's used in the singular here, It means it's cognate with our word both, actually, in the Russian aboy, both, ubhaya. But it's used in Pali, not in Sanskrit. In Pali, it's used in the singular. So it could almost be translated as like that both, meaning that pair. So it grows in reliance on patavirasan sinehancha tadubhayam, that pair of things just mentioned. Evam kandhacha dhatuyo. Evam, in the same way. Kandhacha, the aggregates, literally the heaps or piles. Sanskrit skandha. We dealt with that in reading 19. So kandhacha, dhatuyo, that is the plural of dhatu. It could make its plural, it's a feminine word meaning literally element. It can make its plural either with a long u, dhatu, or dhatuyo, short u, yo. Both are equally correct. So evam kandhacha dhatuyo, cha, distinguish carefully here, cha meaning 6, and cha meaning and 6. Chacha ayatana ime, and these 6 bases, that's sense bases, hetum paticca sambhuta. Sambhuta, this is the past participle form, are born. Let's look at the iPad screen. So bhu to be, past participle bhuta. So sambhavati, sambhuta just means born. Sambhava, birth, sambhuta, born, come into being, come into existence. So these chacha ayatana ime, and these 6 bases, that's sense bases, sambhuta, have been born, have come into being, hetum paticca, in reliance on, in dependence upon, a hetum, a cause. So just as the seed has a cause for growing, namely that it's been put in the ground, it's got the nutrients from the earth, and it's got moisture, and these are the causes, the agamma, and agamma, in reliance on these things, the bijam viruhati, the seed grows. Evam, in the same way, kandhacha dhatuyo, the aggregates and the elements, these 6 ayatana, sense bases, sambhuta, have been born, have come into existence. Hetum paticca, in reliance on, conditioned by, a hetu as a cause. Note here that paticca, in reliance on, used in a prepositional sense, is still grammatically a verb, a transitive verb, and that's why it has the accusative form. So hetum paceti, it relies on a cause. Hetum paticca, having relied on or depending upon a cause. Hetu bhanga nirujjhare. Bhanga means breaking or breaking up, dissolution. Just it's an ordinary word meaning to break. Bhanga, the other is the ablative, as the ablative of cause. So hetu bhanga, from the breaking up of the cause. So if that cause, all those elements of that cause cease to exist, the hetu bhanga, the cause is broken up, dissolved, from the dissolution, breaking up of the hetu, nirujjhare, they cease. Nirujjhare is a far less common form of of the verb. I've done a note on it down here. We would normally see here nirujhanti, which we saw actually in the previous reading, if I'm not mistaken. Nirujhanti, things cease to be. Nirujhare, an alternative form of it. It's a much less common variant. It's mentioned in Durosel 381 in the reflective voice, otherwise called as the middle voice, which takes the Atmanepada endings. So there's no need to kind of learn that particular kind of ending, just recognize that you'll occasionally see it. I don't recall having seen it in ordinary prose, in the prose of the suttas, this are ending. It's the kind of thing that creeps into later poetry, where you get a little bit an emerging influence from Sanskrit forms. So I will read this through once more. The ayatana, by the way, is from the root yam, meaning to stretch. Vyayama, pranayama, and the yatana, ayatana is to stretch forward, to reach forward to the place where you want to be. So the ayatana is where you're trying to get to, and it's used like your base, where you're based on, where you can exist, where you feel comfortable and safe. The ayatana, and then that's used as the sense as the bases or sense bases. So chacha ayatanaime, these 6 ayatanas. Right, I will read it once more. Sorry. Yatha anyataram bijam khete vuttam viruhati pattavira sanchagamma sinehancha tadubhayam evam kandha chadhatuyo chacha ayatana ime hetum paticha sambhuta hetu bhanga nirujhare. And that's it for reading 20.